I saw some American media said after the Joint SWOT military drill, China will attack Taiwan in June 2024. I think there are many obvious mistakes there. So here I would like to talk about three things from a normal Chinese perspective. The first is Taiwan military deployment. And the second is what the Joint SWOT is really about. And third is whether there will be a war in June. First, many Western people don't know much about Taiwan. It's not just the island itself. Taiwan's official name is Republic of China. This government used to rule all over China, and after they lost Mainland China, they came to Taiwan in 1949. Now it has 23 million population. Majority of the population are in the west. We can see there are lots of cities here. And in the middle, there's huge mountain, almost impossible for army to go across. And the east side, only a few small towns. It is not ideal for landing. In Taiwan or Mainland China, when we say Taiwan, usually we mean Tai, Peng, Jin, Ma. Means there are four places. One is the Taiwan Island, the other is Penghu, here, a few islands, and Kinmen, which is very close to Xiamen, a big city of millions of population in China, and Mazu, a relative small island here. So here in Mazu, there are around 2,000 soldiers. These islands are only around 20 kilometers away from mainland China, and Kinmen has around 3,000 soldiers. It's around 6 kilometers away from mainland China. Penghu, which is a bigger island, has around 8,000 soldiers. In Asian China, there is a saying, if you want to attack Taiwan, you need to take Penghu first. In Asian China, if an army want to take Taiwan, they can take Penghu as a logistic hub and attack from here. It's much easier to take Taiwan. In Penghu, there is also 146th Fleet of Republic of China Navy. It has 8 Chengkong-class frigates, displacement around 3,900 tons. In southern Taiwan, there is an important harbor, Kaohsiung. Here they have 124 fleet with 6 Kangding-class frigates. These are mainly French-style ships with displacements around 3,000 tons. Here we also have 256 fleet. This is the submarine of Republic of China Navy. Their former USS Cutlass, a Tench-class submarine. Here you can see the old submarine cruising in Mediterranean Sea in 1960s. And I find one of their Tom and Jerry logo. I like Tom and Jerry. In the northern part, there are 2 fleets. One is 131 Fleet. There are Qinchang-class patrol ship and Tuojiang-class corvette and Quanghua 6-class missile boat. Here in the east, in Suao port, there are 168 Fleet. They have 4 Keelung-class destroyers. This used to be US Kidd-class with displacement around 10,000 tons. So we can see the main force of the ROC Navy are in the north, Keelung port, and in the south, Zuoying port. In their capital, Taipei, there's JOCC Hengshan Zhihuisuo, the Republic of China Armed Forces Joint Operation Command Center. They have huge tunnels under this mountain that normal bombs cannot reach. Here you can see their former president in the command center. While for the Republic of China Army, I haven't updated in English yet. There are 3 armies. The 6th Army in the north, the 10th Army in the middle, and the 8th Army in the south. Each of them has around 20 to 30,000 men. I will update their information in English later. On May 23rd, Chinese Army hold Joint SWOT military drills near Taiwan. Here we can see 5 parts where the Chinese Army displaced the naval force. One is in the north, around 50 kilometers away from Taipei City. This fleet can directly attack Taipei. In the west, around 50 kilometers away from Penghu, and also cut off Penghu from Kinmen. And in the south, here a Chinese fleet is deployed, directly facing Zuoying, the 124 Fleet and 256 Fleet of ROC Navy. And here in the east, this fleet is to cut Taiwan from Philippines. You see, here Taiwan is very close to some Philippine islands. And in the east, this fleet is outside of Hualien Harbor. Here the ROC Air Force have some basement. I'll update that later. This fleet can engage with possible reinforcement from Japan direction. Here are the Okinawa Islands. There are US military base and Japan military base here. During the military drill, we saw some deployment of Taiwan Army. For example, the Tiangong 3 air defense system. It has range of 200 kilometers. Here is a photo of the air defense system. You can see there are some residential buildings very close to the base. If the war begins, people here should move out immediately because air defense systems will be the first batch of the target. The Taiwan defense system also deployed in the south. This is a photo of Kending National Park. We can see air defense system deployed here during the military drill. This is a photo of PHL-16, a self-prepared multi-rocket launcher of People's Republic of China. Its maximum firing range is around 300 kilometers. The Taiwan Strait is less than 200 kilometers. So basically, this multi-rocket launcher system can hit any target west of Taiwan. It also appeared in this military drill. There are two things I found interesting about this military drill. The first is zero warnings. Before May 23rd, did you hear any Western media say this? No, nobody knows about that. And in China, I didn't hear any media say that as well. So this is a very secret one. And the other thing is, it shows PLA's fast deployment capability. The PLA only takes 48 hours to assemble the fleet and air force and deploy it to the war zones. This is not just a military drill. It's a real practice of what will happen if the war begins. So will the war begin in June? I don't know. Why the PLA has the Joint SWOT military exercise is because the newly elected president of Taiwan almost claimed independence. This is not acceptable by Beijing and Chinese people. I know many friends from Taiwan are watching my channel. So if the war really begins, make sure to stay away from the military base. In my next video, I'll update the information about ROC Army and ROC Air Force. This is Jason Jiang from Shenzhen, China. Thank you for watching and see you next time.